Scent bird, I smell good, bitch. And if you want to smell good like me, you'll click down below in the description box and get 15% off of your first month subscription service to Scentbird, which is a monthly subscription service that sends you perfumes, candles, hand lotions, and makeup. So you guys get down below, check out their website, and sign up. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondy Blue, and I'm back for another episode of Greenleaf, y'all. Greenleaf has been giving me my absolute and total fucking life this season, okay? I'ma just go ahead and tell y'all the truth. Gave me all my life. All right, look, let's get into my notes. So Lady May is looking rough and tumble. Look like she going through a lot right now. Contemplating a lot on her spirit and on her mind. And her friend Maxine tells her, girl, you need to go ahead and clean this up. You got an event to throw. You got to give people hope. And you can't give nobody hope when you look raggedy like this, okay? You look deflated, all right? You look like the Lord done left you and you believe that he done left you asunder and in a dark and alone, girl. We need you to be bright, bushy-tailed, and believe in whatever you about to tell these people, okay? And then May starts to explain how after Bishop cheated on her the first time, they went on an annual family vacation with Lionel and his wife, and she needed to get her groove back. And this was after they had their little fling. I guess they had a fling prior to her marriage with Bishop. And then they, you know, kind of went around each other, and she was feeling how she was feeling, and she had to get her groove back, so she ended up pregnant, y'all. I'm like, so you fucked that man on a family vacation with your husband and his wife there? God damn. Like, that's just real stank, Lady Me. Like, that's just real stank as far as I'm concerned. But you go ahead and be a woman of God judging every fucking body, including your daughter, the one that you ashamed of and feel bad for having because you don't know whether Lionel or Bishop is her daddy. You trollop. Look, I cannot deal with her. However, Lionel has been calling her because Lionel is about to die and wants to go ahead and confess his sins before he goes into the great yonder, okay? And Lady May says she does not have time for that girl to figure this out and be blaming her, you know, the whore of a mother who was ashamed of her, and she wouldn't be wrong. I said, no, she wouldn't be wrong, Lady May. And the fact that you know this is what you're doing and you don't correct it and you don't want to deal with it, you just going to go on letting your daughter feel like shit because that's what makes you feel more comfortable about your sin. Something that didn't have nothing to do with her. Grace did not ask to be here, and she did not ask to be born to a whore of a mother. But look how it all ended up. And you got the nerve to sit up here and tell this story like you know very well what the fuck is going on, but you just ain't about to ever do anything to make it right. See, this is what makes me feel like church is all about her feeling exalted. It's not about really being close to God. It's not really being an example of that to people. It's about people looking at you like you somebody that they should be worshiping close to the way they worship God or Jesus, going to them for help and all of this. And Maxine lets her know that she needs to go ahead and do something about this. You know what you need to do, huh? And she said, drink bleach and walk into traffic. I could have passed out, y'all. No, you ain't going to kill yourself, huh? You was a Christian, ain't you? Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Maxine tells her that secrets have no place next to the king. Amen. Amen. Y'all, Grace lays out all the pictures and evidence that she could gather to show Bishop about who the real Rochelle Cross, a.k.a. Rochelle James, okay? Who she really is. And he just doesn't understand this. I don't understand this. Rochelle is a virtuous woman. She helped me pay off the IRS. She helped you raise money for your fund. Like, how could you say this about her? You're a fool, Daddy. Deal with it. Y'all, just then the FBI come running in the church, okay? Looking for all the computers, looking for all of the evidence, all right? We don't know what's going on. We don't know why they're here, but then we see them pop up at Triumph, and Jacob and Carissa are like, what in the Jesus, Mary, and Joseph is going on here, okay? Obviously, this has something to do with that money that Jacob signed over that was transferred into the account that Bishop thought was his little cryptocurrency account that Rochelle had set up for him. See, he was looking at that account. Oh, Lord, this is how much money I've made? Yeah, it was $200,000 of Triumph's money. But because niggas don't be reading the shit that they sign, trusting Tasha Skanks, you can't trust bitches with last names that say Skanks. Okay, you can't trust her. You definitely can't trust her after what happened with Basie. So I would have been reading every single document that lady put across my desk. But because the flesh is weak and Jacob is weak, okay? All right? Like, I don't want y'all to get me wrong. I'm not saying that Carissa wasn't wrong, but damn, you ain't got to talk to the nigga like that. How is he ever going to be better if you always talking to him like he ain't never going to be better? Like, men don't work like that. You got to mind fuck these niggas, man. If you expect better, you got to put better into that nigga or divorce him. Pick one. But don't be sitting up there talking about how terrible he is, knowing good and goddamn well that his terribleness matches yours. You may not be a cheater, but bitch, you's a evil woman when you want to be. Did y'all see the way the accountant at Triumph was like, I am so glad you are here. There's something very odd going on here. Let me show you. I'm like, oh, all right. Oh, okay, we just hired you and you just ready to go and tell on Jacob. Even though Jacob don't know what the hell is going on, it was just like, oh, okay. When everything is resolved, don't forget to fire him. He can't be trusted. Maxine and Lady May are having an interview about a day with Lady May. Just as Kareen comes in and the FBI comes in too, y'all. But y'all, did y'all hear how they were once again asking her if Grace was going to speak? And she's saying, no, she's not going to speak. And everybody's like, but don't you think we would want to hear from your daughter, the great Grace Greenleaf? Like, everybody thinks that Grace is an awesome pastor. They want to listen to her. They want to follow her. And they need people to want to hear what they have to say, especially because her defense fund is very popular and on the front page of the newspaper. So it will behoove you, if you want to sell tickets to a day with Lady May, if you want so many people to come out Lady May, that you will go ahead and let your daughter shine for 5 minutes, but you're so busy looking at her as an example of your mistakes that you can't see that you blocking your blessing by blocking your daughter's greatness, okay? You are blocking it. Blocking it up, okay? So this all comes to an end and she walks out into the hallway and she's like, oh my God, the FBI are all around like somebody just turned on the lights and there are roaches everywhere, okay? Just going through everybody's stuff, and Charity is like, Mama, they took my laptop and it has all my music on it. What am I gonna do? And she says, girl, if you don't get your disgusting from in front of me with this, okay, why don't you be useful instead of being this selfish center of attention, woe is me little woman that you are, get out of my face, okay? Then she rolls up on Grace. Grace, what is going on? Does this have something to do with that Coralie case that you're doing? Mama, this ain't got nothing to do with me. This got something to do with Daddy and his IRS issues, okay? And she's looking around and she sees this black police officer that looked like he done been in a Tyler Perry player too. And she says, young man, okay, wait a minute, okay, before I snatch those ears off your head, you cannot take my laptop. And he says, ma'am, okay, get out of my way, ma'am. I have to do my job here, ma'am, all right? And he hands the laptop over to somebody to put into evidence. May says, where's your daddy, Grace? He's right over there, Mama. They won't let him in his office. He's on the phone trying to figure out what the hell is going on, trying to fix it. She goes over to him, get off the phone, get off the phone. See, this was going, this is all because of you, okay? Divorcing you was not enough. I will fix it, May. I am trying to fix it, May. Like, you know, he got to get his voice all high, all loud and clear when he's trying to get her to calm the hell down because she is currently flipping out. And I'm like, y'all, this is a hot, steaming pile of mess right here, okay? The FBI all up in the church. Everybody is just so upset, and they see the two of them arguing, going back and forth, and people just on the sidelines looking like, I cannot believe this is church. This is like a good episode of Love and Hip Hop. So Grace calls Coralie's lawyer to come down to Calvary and help them deal with this situation. So he comes down and explains to them what he believes the FBI thinks. And that was basically that Jacob gave the money to the daddy and they basically embezzled the money. And that's why they was all there trying to make a statement to let the churches know that they're going to be on their ass about these taxes, okay? And of course, Jacob is going back and forth with his daddy about Tasha Skanks, and then Bishop is like, I don't believe this. Rochelle wouldn't do this, and how do you know this, and all of this shit. Y'all know they can't believe it, and Carissa is just like, you two fools just got gamed by those two women. And y'all don't even realize it put this church and this family at risk. And Grace says, on top of all of the hundreds of thousands of people that go to our church, like, really? This is what y'all do? Weak ass men. But y'all, I have to admit, Jacob signed them papers because of what was going on with Zora. That's why that happened. Tasha Skanks was already feeling him before that kiss even happened, okay? That's why she didn't know if she wanted to do it. But Jacob made that mistake because he trusted her, not because he was actually doing anything with her. Unlike Bishop, who is leading with his old dick. Y'all, May is in her office losing it to Maxine, and Maxine says, this is what the devil does. When you are on your way, he finds a way to grab you and pull you back down. But you know what? You need to deal with this, all right? And then Lionel calls, and she says, have you talked to Grace yet? And y'all know she ain't talked to Grace yet. So remember that fine FBI agent that looked like he been in a couple of Tyler Perry plays? Oh, all right. Well, Charity asked him, could she plead her case? He comes into her office and she says, have you ever heard of what a PK is? And he says, yes, ma'am, I have. She says, well, I'm a PK. And when I was a kid, I wanted to be a model. And I let this narrow boy take pictures of me. And my mom had to pay him money to get the pictures back. And well, those pictures are on her computer. And I'm like, girl, if that happened while you was a teenager, why would that be on this computer? That don't make no goddamn sense, okay? That might be on the family's desktop computer, but I would have deleted that shit. Who wants to have naked pictures of their daughter on their laptop? That don't even make no damn sense. But anyway, all right, Charity, okay? But she asked him if she could delete those things out of the laptop because she would not want anybody as virtuous as him to see those pictures. I'm like, girl, if you don't cut it the fuck out. He says he has to go talk to his supervisor. So he goes and talks to his supervisor and he comes back with the laptop and he says, well, you know, they said that if it doesn't have anything to do with the case, you can request it. And I have to look and see what it is first before I will allow you to copy it over to a drive. And so you still have to look at it? And so she says, so you still have to look at the pictures? And he says, yes, so let's do it. And she says, there are no pictures. And he says, I know, but come on, let's take a look. I'm like, all right, what's happening here? What's happening here? This was cute. Okay, I'm catching a little fever. But y'all know Charity want love from anybody. Any good, tall, fine, discerning looking man, she gonna try to get with him, y'all. She gonna give him a little eye, a little action, a little flirtatious, a little softness. Okay, I see you, girl. So y'all, Darius walks into Grace's office as she's trying to talk some type of sense into her daddy, who is still having a hard time believing that Miss Rochelle Cross, the virtuous Miss Rochelle Cross, would do such a thing to him. I'm just like, oh my God, where is your intuition, sir? I swear, sometimes I feel like you niggas don't have it, okay? Sitting up here talking about how close to God you are, but can't tell a snake in the grass when you're sleeping in the bed next to it. I don't even understand. Either way, Darius calls Grace out of the office on business so that he can ask her to confirm some things because he's being a source for his paper, even though their deal was that he would not do any stories about her while they were dating. And he says he's not doing the story, but the shit is gonna come out anyway, so she might as well tell them so he can at least get the credit for it, okay? It's gonna come out. You might as well help. And she says, you know what this is. This is Rochelle Cross and Tasha Skanks and Basie Skanks trying to take my family down. And he says, can you prove it? And she gets up and walks out and she says, when I do, I'll let you know. And I'm like, oh, Darius, you done messed up y'all little relationship or lack thereof. So Jacob calls Tasha to ask her what the hell is going on and tell her that the FBI are all rolling through the offices asking questions and pulling laptops. And she says, Jacob, I just don't know what to say. And then Basie is sitting right next to her and telling her, you gotta tell me. You know, I guess he was telling her to say she don't know shit, right? He says that he know what she did and he needs her help to get out of this mess. And then we see Carissa is on the other side of the phone with him and she says, tell her you love her. I was like, oh, tell her you love her, huh? Carissa, look at you using your man to get what y'all want. All right, Ronnie Ho quotes. And he says, I love you. And she, you know, kind of melts and Basie sees it and he hurry up and hangs the phone up. And then we see the camera turn and Rochelle is sitting there. I told you she was fucking with him. I told you. Oh, I can't stand Rochelle. Y'all know that girl weak. Y'all know y'all left that little small-minded, weak, beautiful girl all on her lonesome, making her think that her husband was possibly dead, putting her in this situation to be a double agent when she ain't got the strength or the willpower to do that type of stuff, okay? Y'all shouldn't have left her in Jacob's hands. And that's what y'all did. So y'all, then we see Isaiah and Zora. All right, he's on his way to the studio and she thinks she's coming with him, but he tells her that it's gonna be too crowded and why don't she just go and get her nails and her feet done or something like that. And I'm like, yeah, this nigga looks suspect. Then he asked her to get a drink out of, like, some alcohol out of his cabinet while he sent a text message, and I was like, yeah, this nigga doing something he ain't supposed to be doing. You can't be beating a bitch, keeping her out of college, and cheating on her. That's too much. That's way too much. You're not even claiming that lady. That is way too much, Isaiah. If you think you about to get away with that and she gonna be sitting up in your house just letting her life waste away, she was not raised like that. Eventually, her survival instincts will kick the fuck in. You ain't giving her nothing but some little cute dick. She ain't never had no other dick. She don't know. She don't know what's going on. She thinks she know, but she don't know. So later on, we see Sophia, and we haven't seen Sophia in a minute. I guess she's just been kicking it in her room all day, every day, all right? And she's on her phone, and she sees that some girl is posting a live video with Isaiah in the studio, and they just looking a little bit too friendly. She's sitting on his lap, and he's touching all on her hips and her butt and stuff, and it just look real wrong. So she sends it to Zora. When he gets home, she was like, what is this, okay? What the hell is this? And he says, nothing, man, nothing. She a fan, man. She a fan. And she like, oh, so that's why you ain't want to have me in the studio? He said, I just didn't want you to be in there because it was going to be too crowded. It wasn't like that, man. That girl ain't nothing. It's about you. She was like, it don't even really feel like we in a relationship. Like, are we in a relationship? I'm like, bitch, you left everything for this nigga. And that's a question that you have to ask? Oh, girl. Oh, girl. He baby talks her and kisses her, and I'm guessing gives his little, young penis to her, and that subsides her worries for a moment. But later on that night, while he in the bed sleeping, she is looking at the pictures of him and that girl all hugged up and shit, and she is obviously feeling some type of way. So y'all, Grace is waiting for Rochelle at her office. Like, bitch, if you think you're going to dodge phone calls and I ain't going to show up at your office, you got another thing coming, slut. So Rochelle Rose, oh, Grace, how you doing, girl? What's going on? Like, bitch, you know good and goddamn well what is going on. The FBI is amiss, okay? You know good and goddamn well what's going on. Do not try to act like you have not been trying to take my family down. And Rochelle said, oh my God, Grace, I have dealt with you and your paranoid PTSD for long enough out of respect for your daddy. But last night when I was laid up in his bed and I told him I loved him, okay, I decided that, you know what, we might be a family one day, and I know I can't be your mother, but at least I could be a sister to you if you will allow that to happen. And I was just like, did this bitch just do a Jedi mind trick and try to tell us we ain't see what we just seen? Is that what she trying to do? I was like, oh girl, Rochelle, that was a nice try. So y'all, then once again, the silver-haired fox that is Connie is rolling up on Bishop trying to get him to resign, telling him that she is pulling an emergency meeting with the bishops to ask him to step down. They need new blood. They need somebody that does not have all these eccentricities going on, okay? And he's like, please, Connie, okay? I don't care what you're talking about right now, Connie. Get out of my office. That ain't what he said, but I swear, that's what he wanted to say. So back at Tasha Skanks, Basie is sitting up there being an abusive husband, making her feel guilty and all of this. Because, it seemed kind of like she was scared of him or something like that. She was trying to, put a plate down and give him a napkin. And he was like, don't you be sitting up there trying to act like you some faithful, dutiful wife. It just seemed, abusive. It did. She seemed like she was scared and she was nervous and stuff, okay? And he said, look at him out here on the street struggling, praying for God to put her in his dreams. And look at her over here messing around with Jacob Greenleaf. And she says, nothing happened, Basie, nothing happened. And even if something did happen, I thought you were dead. Well, yeah, I had to do that to protect you. She said, well, you told your sister, you told Rochelle what was going on. And he said, I didn't think I would be gone that long. Not long enough for you to fall in love with Jacob Greenleaf. And she said, oh, no, Basie, it's not that. And she walks up to him to touch him. He said, oh, I was like, nigga, what you was about to do? Was that a sneeze, a cough, an allergic reaction to her touch? What was that? And she had to step off. She was just like, all right, and she stepped off and she looking all distraught and shit. And he like, I don't trust you. And I don't know if I ever will again. I'm like, look at this nigga. Then he get a phone call from Rochelle and act like it's one of his partners. I'm like, nigga, you got partners? People thought you was dead. Like, you got partners? Like, the fuck out of here. Anyway, so Rochelle must have told him that Grace know everything that's going on, and he's telling her don't worry about it, okay? The plan has already been executed. It's too damn late. Meanwhile, Tasha Skanks is listening to his conversation, and she calls Jacob and asks him if he will meet her that night, and she'll help him out. That's what it seemed like, but I'm like, something is amiss. Something is amiss. After he gets off the phone with Tasha, Carissa sits down and real calmly just says, you care about her. And he says, no, I don't. No, I don't. This is ridiculous. I'm not having this conversation. I don't feel like that about her. And it's like, nigga, please. Your wife can tell when you care about somebody. And it would have been better if you would have just said, I do care about her, but not like that. I wasn't trying to make that happen. But I do care about her, just not like that. It would have been better if he would have said it that way. Because I really don't think he really trying to fuck with Tasha Skanks. I just think that was a moment where she was a little bit too close and the flesh is weak. And we've already established these niggas is weak. Y'all, Lady May had been looking for Grace, but Grace was gone. So I guess she was going to try to tell her what was going on. But then Erin called her and let her know that Lionel had passed away. And Grace finally comes to her office and she says, oh, I just wanted to apologize for how frazzled I was earlier. And she was like, okay, mama, apology accepted. And she just walks away. Obviously, that's not what she wanted to tell her. But Grace is just going to be like, all right, mama, whatever. I don't feel like fighting with you. And any question or any, extra inquiry about what the hell she talking about could lead into an argument that obviously Grace don't have the energy for right now. So Grace goes to Bishop and asks him, did he spend the night with Rochelle? No. Why would you ask me such a thing? Because that's what she told me, Daddy. Really? Well, it didn't happen. I'm going to go and get to the bottom of this. I am going to handle this. I'm like, well, about goddamn time, Bishop. How long you was going to sit on your hands? Maxine is rehearsing her song for the event, and May comes in and comes on stage, and they grab hands, and she says, did you talk to Grace yet? And she says, I don't have to anymore because Lionel passed away. And Maxine says, you still have got to talk to that girl. You cannot tell people about how they have to tell the truth when you can't tell your own. She don't seem to understand that. And Maxine says, girl, lying is for men. If women want to lead, if the future is for women, then women have to tell the truth in order to be better than any of the things that we've had before. And I'm like, okay, all right, you better let her know. So y'all, then we see Charity bring her mama the information, her PowerPoint, her pictures and everything for her event that she was so worried about. And she was just like, oh, and she was like, useful enough, mama? And, just kind of walks out. And I'm like, thank you, Charity, because you was working on somebody's nerves. You wouldn't have been of use if she wouldn't have told your ass that your ass was useless, okay? Trying to act like you would have done that if she hadn't told you that. So y'all, Erin shows up in Grace's office. And you just know he about to tell her that Lionel was the pappy. So Basie shows up in Tasha's place. And Jacob is just kind of looking around like he's expecting Tasha Skanks to be there somewhere. And Tasha Skanks told him that she was scared, so he's kind of worried about her. And Basie's like, don't worry about my wife. Worry about your own wife. Now tell me what happened between the two of you. And he don't really want to say anything, so he's not saying anything. And Basie is like, I've asked you a question and you're not answering me, which is making me think that you've done something with my wife, Jacob. And he's like, look, everything that happened was my fault. I just don't want you to blame Tasha. And he says, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not blaming anybody. Just tell me what happened, Jacob. And he says, it was just a kiss, brother. He was like, I'm not your brother. I'm not your brother. And just a kiss. It might meant nothing to you, but it meant everything to a man like me. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Stop acting like you care so much about Tasha. You treat Tasha like some little tissue that you could use and throw away. Like, that's not how you treat somebody you really love. I don't think Basie really loves Tasha. I think Tasha is somebody he's infatuated with because of how beautiful she is, and she's easily controllable, which is why he's been with her for so long. Little cute arm piece that he could tell what to do, and she wants so bad to have the influence and status that came along with being first lady that she was going to do whatever he told her to do. Shit got rough and tumble, and he didn't realize how weak-minded she really was. But here it is. Here it is, Basie, okay? You left your weak-hearted, weak-minded wife to fend for herself, brother. Basie tells Jacob to don't worry about texting or calling Tasha anymore because he has her phone. I was like, oh, okay. I hope Tasha Skanks is alive. So Bishop storms into Rochelle's office. And she's like, Bishop, how you doing? I'm so sorry that I couldn't get to your call today. He says, Rochelle, did you tell Grace that we slept together? She says, well, I didn't volunteer it, bitch. Yes, you did. We didn't sleep together, Rochelle. Why would you say that? Is this some type of pastor's amnesia? Because I know what we did last night, Bishop. We did not have sex last night, Rochelle. What are you talking about? Are you Daryl James' daughter, Rochelle? Yes, I am. I did not kill your father, Rochelle. Well, Bishop, I don't think that. I just think that you couldn't pay to take care of your church. That's all I think, Bishop. If I thought that, I would not have laid next to you in the bed and confessed my love to you, Bishop. Bishop says, you got me. You got me. But you won't get away with it. And he walks out her office, and she still got that sad look on her face. And as soon as that door closed, she said, but I already did, Bishop. I was like, you hope so, bitch. You hope so. So May is sitting in the sanctuary looking over her PowerPoint now that Charity has came through and gave her everything that she needed, and she's, about to leave for the night. Grace pops up and scares her a little bit, and she keeps trying to run away from Grace, just making senseless small talk. Oh, Charity, help me with this. And, oh, yeah, did you hear about Lionel? Oh, man, we think these dramas in our lives are so big until we get to the end and realize how very small that was. If we knew better, we would forgive. And, she's talking all that hula, and she's just trying to run away from Grace. And Grace says, Mama, is Lionel my father? With tears in her eyes. And May turns around and says, I don't know. And then she turns around and walks away. And I'm just like, how cold-blooded is that? For you, first of all, to not ever say it to her. And when she confronts you about it, you give her 3 words. And then you walk away to leave her to deal with that. Y'all, I cannot with Lady May. I don't know how she can call herself a woman of God. I just really don't. When you treat your own child like this, how can anybody expect you to treat their child any better? With any understanding and compassion, if you can't give it to your own. The woman that came out of your womb, you can't give love and compassion and honesty to, but you somehow are supposed to be able to give that to a church full of people authentically and expect them to follow you? That's why Grace is so good, because she's being honest. She's being authentic. She's being real with herself and who she is with other people and what she expects of them, which rings true in a church, okay? When people are full of shit, people can tell, okay? Which is why I kind of keep trying to get both Bishop and Lady May asses to step down, because they are not real truth seekers or tellers. And you can't be of the cloth if you are not a truth teller and a truth seeker, okay? Not honestly anyway, okay? Work ain't honest, but it pays the bills, yeah. All right? Now, look, Greenleaf was good, and next episode is the finale, and I can't wait. I hope y'all enjoy the review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And, yeah, y'all, I love y'all. I love my bonbons. Subscribe so you can be one. Turn on the notification bell so you'll know whenever I put up a new video. I'll see y'all in the next one.